There's a saying out there and it says that first impressions are usually right. And for me, most of my current watch collection, if not all of my current watch collection, is based on first impressions. In other words, I see a watch, I absolutely love the look of that watch, and I can see myself integrating that watch into my lifestyle. Now, the first impression I had of this watch when I first saw it is, wow, I love the look of this. And I do. You see, I was up at Define Watches in Noosa looking at their Muhle Glasshute range, and this particular model caught my eye. I absolutely love it when brands use color properly and they just seem to work. And for me, this is such a watch. It's very good looking, it's got excellent functionality and an extremely legible dial. Now, it wears with proper wrist presence whilst at the same time bringing a very playful feel to the entire watch wearing experience. So, to cut to the chase, it's loud. It's very loud. It basically reminds me of a fluorescent green Lamborghini because that green color palette is almost on point with our brand. Now, I don't have a fluorescent green Lamborghini, but there's nothing wrong with daydreaming and putting yourself in a certain scenario that puts a smile on your face. So without further ado, let's flip the camera and let's check out the Sportivo Compass Date from Muhle Glasshute. This watch falls in the category of being designed to act as an ideal everyday companion. Whether you're at work or at home or at play, it doesn't really matter if you're adventurous at heart or you simply want a watch that's able to perform its intended functions very well. Because Muhle Glasshute has designed this specific Sportivo range for that purpose. And there's a few different models ranging from GMT, chronographs, and this Compass Date. And this Compass Date is actually the watch that caught my eye. You see that layout, the color palette, its feel and its build quality are absolutely superb. Now, looking at the specs of the watch, I measure a case diameter of 42mm and a case height of 11.6. The lug-to-lug is 50.1 and a lug width of 22. That crown comes in at 7mm. It's a signed screw-down crown. The watch offers 300 meters of water resistance, and the total weight on the supplied strap, I measure exactly 105 grams. Now, as with all things that are made in Germany, I think the key criteria is build quality, design, execution, and they seem to function well. And this watch here is no exception. The way the watch fits on the wrist, the height, the comfort on that particular strap is wonderful. And it's one of those watches where you'd probably never swap it out from that strap. Not only does it look and suit the watch, but it's extremely comfortable. For me, it seems to be designed beautifully. You've got a fantastic flex, you've got little holes and striations in there to let the strap breathe, and the finishing seems to be on point. Now, as you can see, there is an exhibition case back, and hiding behind that case back is a Sellita SW200 automatic. And this is not your standard Sellita. You see, it features a Muhle Glasshute's shockproof woodpecker regulation system. It's the same setup that's found in their SAR rescue timer, and this particular watch has been running on point. Now, I did mention that this watch caught my attention as soon as I saw it, and it did, because looking at that handset, you've got a very nicely pronounced minute and hour hand, and they are lume filled. And accompanied with that handset is a really cool seconds hand. It's fluorescent green, there is no counterbalance, it basically starts from the pinion and goes out from there. Now, the dial itself has superb texture and very heavy vignetting, so it draws your eye into the actual dial. And matched up with those clean markers and Arabics, it just seems to work. So technically and visually, to me, this watch, it just seems to work. And these are the small details and things that many of us enthusiasts look for in a watch. Now, if I turn my attention to that bezel, it's a bi-directional compass bezel. It's got a ceramic insert, it's lume filled, and it's got 120 clicks in both directions. So looking at the action, it's very positive and precise. It's got a very reassuring feel and it pops into place effortlessly. Now, whether or not a compass bezel is up to everyone's cup of tea, well, that's debatable. Now, I mentioned that the handset markers and bezel are lume filled, and looking at that lume application, it's very even, beautifully balanced, it's extremely easy to read, and I think in the area of clarity, having a 12 and 6 o'clock Arabic, you know exactly where up and down is on this watch. So getting a gauge on the time reading experience in dim light is very good. Now for me, I'm always drawn to watches that are slightly different, and this particular one here falls in that category. Its build quality seems to be on a very good level. That 7mm oversized crown has a beautiful action to it. The winding experience, the latch down experience is buttery smooth. So in handling a watch, you know when something is built well. And that's one of the drawcards of this brand. They seem to make a very well built watch. Now lastly, before I get into any gripes or room for improvement of this model, what is the price? Looking at Define Watch's website, it comes in at 3,500 Australian dollars. For this type of watch and its attention to detail and finishing, I think it's probably just on par. You're paying for a name brand with a very good reputation, and the watch itself in the hand speaks for itself. Now with all that said, there is no watch that's perfect, and there's always areas for room for improvement, and I found a couple that could offer some room for improvement on this particular watch. And for me, first and foremost, that bezel. Whether or not I would get full use out of a compass bezel, well, that's debatable. So for me, potentially a timing bezel of sorts would have really suited my type of lifestyle. But I understand the design. It's a very adventurous, sporty type of watch designed to get out there in the field, to be used for the adventurer, and for some that don't have any other navigation devices, the ease of use of a compass on that bezel might come in handy. Next room for improvement for me could have been those spring bars. The watch offers screw pins as a replacement for spring bars. Although they are stronger, for me personally, if I want to change out straps on a watch like this, it just means I've got to go through an extra process of getting a couple of screwdrivers and unscrewing them to put a new strap on. But even in saying that, would you swap out this watch from this strap? Because I think this strap just seems to work, and it works really well. And that's pretty much it as far as this watch goes, because I think as far as details, finishing, quality, feel and build, it's done on point. It really is. It's different from so many watches out there, which is a big plus for me. And honestly, guys, I want to thank Peter and Lydia from Define Watches for letting me get hands-on with this beauty. I'll leave a link in the description section of this video. Feel free to check out any of their vast range of really well-made watches. And this particular watch here, not only has it been a joy to experience on the wrist, but if there was a fluorescent green Lamborghini sitting in my driveway, I would definitely not be sending this one back. And definitely a brand that I think should be on everyone's radar. If you're serious about good quality watches that aren't going to really break the bank, you can't go past brands that are made in Germany, especially a brand like Mühle-Glashütte. So thanks for watching, be well, be safe, enjoy the watch that's on your wrist, and continue to enjoy this hobby and one another, and we'll see you in the next one.